Hello everybody, Suzanne Kellner-Zinck with Dawning Visions Hypnosis here to speak to parents of adolescent kids who may be in trouble. There are a lot of things that are going on these days with our adolescent kids and even the college-age kids that can be very concerning, and it's going beyond illicit use of drugs or even getting prescription drugs from friends who might be on ADHD drugs in order to heighten their ability to study or do memory. I know that there was a young woman who I went to college with who used to do that, and not a really good thing to be doing, taking other people's prescription drugs. But above and beyond that, we have a lot of other issues to concern us regarding our kids today, most especially because they have smartphones. And with those smartphones, they can get into all kinds of difficulties. So I want to talk generally about some of the things that are going on today with our teenagers and with the college students. The first is with the teenage girls and college-age girls, where they are doing sexting of their bodies, nude or practically nude, to men who they do not know, who they met online. And I know at least in one case, because the father contacted me to work with his daughter, was bringing in these strangers into their own home after the parents had gone to sleep. Rather troubling. Not to mention the fact that we don't know how these young kids are going to be abused or used or exploited because of their incapacity to really judge their behavior. Sadly, this particular young woman, she's 16 years old, doesn't see anything wrong with this behavior. That is because we're dealing with a teenager who doesn't understand the ramifications of her behavior yet, because her prefrontal cortex is not yet developed to be able to understand these natural consequences of her behavior. We have other issues going on with anorexia and bulimia. It's starting as young as 8 years old, actually 6 years old, according to one of the videos that I watched that was put out pretty recently by a treatment center that's getting more and more calls at this age. This has a whole lot to do with a lot of the garbage that they're seeing on Instagram and Facebook, but especially on Instagram and I would say TikTok, where they're able to do all sorts of interesting photoshopping very easily with those apps that depict unrealistic body forms. And this is what the kids are into. So these are the problems that we have to contend with now. We also have issues where there are more male anorexics. There's about 10 million in the United States currently. And again, they're starting younger and younger. It's just a little differently in men than in women. They'll drop the weight really quickly using laxatives and purging food if they happen to be binging. They will do a lot of this over-exercising, the same things, but their thing isn't to get skinny, it's to build up muscles to have what they consider the perfect male body. And of course, they have male dysmorphia, which means that when they look in the mirror, they don't see grown muscles, even if they have them there. Similar to when an anorexic young woman will look at herself in the mirror and she'll see herself as fat, even though you and I might see basically a skeleton with skin covering it. So there are some pretty strong problems that we're having above and beyond drug use and abuse. In men, young men, even college-age kids now are having erectile dysfunction. This has to do with the fact that they are eating crap foods. They're sitting on their butts in front of their video games and their computers for hours on end, maybe watching Netflix, so they're not getting the exercise that a normal male ought to be getting at that stage in life. And they're not getting the nutrients their body needs. Some of them might be taking depressants, which is also going to depress their entire system, including alcohol, which means they're not going to get the blood flow. And some of them are addicted to pornography, and that's happening earlier and earlier. in age because of it being available 24/7. One of the problems is that the pornographers, I wrote a book on this actually, invite the viewers to watch more and more, I would say, harmful to the woman's sex acts, and then it can even get into child porn and even bestiality, and the guys will tell you that they don't even understand how it is that they got involved in this, but it has to do with the fact that the brain changes in terms of how the flashing of the screen of the computers operate. So we have a lot of really big issues that we need to contend with. And as parents, you need to be apprised of these problems because you may see your kids doing things that you don't see as normal, but you don't actually have an understanding of what is going on. And sadly, as one woman found out, her daughter was actually sexting these lewd photographs of herself to these men all over the place, and she took away the smartphone, but the daughter is still able to use her friends' phones to do what she wants to do because, as in anything in life, if you really make a decision to make something happen, you'll make it happen. So I'm sorry to tell you that these things are happening in the world today, but we do need to be cognizant of what is going on so that we can protect our kids from really bad judgments they may have. This is on top of the fact that a lot of our kids are dealing with anxiety and depression because of all the COVID mandates of isolation and masks that are really uncomfortable, and not being able to see their friends in school and school closures ad infinitum. So I just wanted to give you a top view of things to be thinking about, because as parents, as long as you're the guardians of your children, it's up to you to know what is going on with your kids so that you can get them the help they need if they so required it. I trust that you found this video, although maybe not particularly fun to watch, at least educational. So as always, I thank you for spending your time with me watching this video. Be well. Until next time. Bye-bye all.